The British Isles is home to England, which in turn is home of the English language. The English language being quite a big deal. Despite it being a popular language spoken in many countries throughout the world, and undoubtedly the most popular language here in the British Isles, English is actually kind of the black sheep of the British Isles. This is because English is actually a Germanic language and came to the British Isles when a Germanic tribe called the Angles emigrated to the land. But the Angles only settled around the land area of modern England, where the English language blossomed. So what was going on in the rest of the British Isles, in places like Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and some other places we'll look into in a bit? Well, they were all Celtic nations, still holding on to their Celtic roots today. These Celtic people of these lands had a different identity, culture, language, and of course, names for their land. Celtic, however, is actually an adjective form of just Celts. Celt is actually kind of an odd word, coming from the Greek word kelatoi, meaning barbarians. As compared to the Greeks at the time, they were pretty barbaric. Interestingly, the name Celt wasn't applied to any of these nations or people at the time, and only came into use later as a collective name for the people of the Celtic nations. So what were/are these Celtic nations? Well, of course, there's the aforementioned Scotland and Wales, which on the island of Great Britain are now part of the United Kingdom. The Celtic nation of Ireland, which is on the island of Ireland, which is now split into the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, which is a part of the United Kingdom. The Isle of Man is a crown dependency located between England and Ireland, Cornwall, which is now part of England but really wish it wasn't, and Brittany, which is now a part of France. It's these 6 land areas that are considered the 6 Celtic nations, having their own variations of the Celtic language, still spoken there to a varying degree. There isn't just one Celtic language that all these Celtic nations speak. Celtic in fact can be broken into 2 types of languages, Gaelic and Brythonic. The Gaelic languages that can still be heard across the British Isles are Irish Gaelic, Scottish Gaelic, and Manx Gaelic. The Brythonic languages are Welsh, Cornish, and Breton. I'm sure you can tell from the names of these languages as to where they come from, and of course, these places have unique names in their unique languages. In Scottish Gaelic, Scotland is known as Alba. This name of Alba actually comes from one of the oldest known names of Great Britain as a whole, Albion. We aren't too sure as to where this name comes from, but one of the most popular theories is it comes from the Latin albus, which means white. This could be in reference to the White Cliffs of Dover, one of the first things the Latin-speaking Romans would have seen when entering Britain. It's cool that a name with possible etymological roots in the south of Britain, spread through the entire island, and now has a home in the most northern part of Britain. And yes, video game fans, the name of Albion was used as the name of the setting of the Fable games. Iarla is the Irish Gaelic name for Ireland, and it's actually where the English name of Ireland comes from too. This name comes from the old Irish name Eirlu. This is also the name of a Gaelic goddess who is believed to be the matron goddess of the island of Ireland. The Isle of Man is too named after a deity, this god however being the Celtic lord of the sea Manannan, so no, it's not a sexist name. It's also believed that the English name of the island could be of Saxon origin, coming from the Saxon word mang, which means among, as the island is among the sea, and is thought to lie equal distance between England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales. There is no hint of sexism however in the island's Manx name, Ilian Van In, which simply means Isle of Man in Manx. From the Gaelic languages to the Brythonic Celtic languages now, and let's start with Welsh. The Welsh language is insane to non-speakers, mainly because to an untrained eye it seems they use few vowels, but this really isn't the case, as in Welsh W and Y are vowels too. Nevertheless, it leads to places being named things like this. Luckily, Wales' name in Welsh isn't quite as much of a mouthful, being Cumli. Cumli is actually one of the friendlier etymologies of a place name, meaning literally friends or companions. Before we talk about Cornwall's name, can we just take a minute to appreciate their awesome flag and their awesome pasties? Okay, thank you. The English language name of Cornwall and the Cornish language name of Cornwall not only sound similar but have similar etymological roots. The Corn/Cur part of the name comes from the Celtic tribe who lived there, the Cornorvi, meaning the people of the horn. Horn referencing the shape of Cornwall, not that they all played horns. The Wall/Now part means stranger/foreigner, coming from the Old English Wal, which is also where the name Wales comes from too, as I mentioned in my UK video. So here's a shameless plug for that video. Finally, we have Brittany over in France, making it the furthest away Celtic nation from the British Isles. Brittany, however, is only its name in English. As well as having a Breton name, it has a French name too. These are Blaise and Bletang respectively. These names sound similar to Britain because it was named after the Britons who settled there. It has also been known as Lesser or Little Britain when referring to Great Britain, which we talked about a long time ago on the channel, as well as where the name Britain comes from. I've talked about the names of the British Isles and the United Kingdom in a few videos now, and I still have more ideas for British based videos. isles. Perhaps I'm biased due to coming from these isles, but I'm constantly amazed about the many names that have graced these lands. Celtic Britain was suggested by Becky Smith over on Patreon, and thanks to their suggestion, they will now be honoured as Name Explained's patron saint of Celtic Britain. If you want to become a Name Explained patron saint, then why not support the channel on Patreon? Just $1 and up earns you the chance to suggest a country for the next patron saint video. And of course, thank you to all my patrons. These extra Tuesday videos wouldn't exist without the support of you guys. So if you enjoyed these videos and want to be a greater part of our Name Explained community, then why not support the channel? Just $2 a month gets your name here with all these awesome people. Thank you.